Welcome to another exciting episode of Real Estate 101, the podcast where we talk everything and anything property. So last episode, we talked about how it is better to build your own house than buy an apartment. That, by the way, is my opinion, and still, this is my opinion. People have different tastes and preferences, and today, I'll tell you, if I had 13 to 15 million shillings, this is how exactly I'll build a house in Kenya. If I had 13 to 15 million shillings today and wanted to build a house from scratch, these will be the steps that I'll take, because this is exactly how I will need to do it. Not what I had, not what looks good on Instagram, what makes sense financially and practically. That's what we are going to be discussing here today. Let's jump right into it. The first thing I wouldn't do, and that is, you have to note this carefully. I won't overspend on buying the place where I need to put the house. I would have to look for a property. Out of the 13 to 15 million shillings, I'd cap my budget for buying land at probably around 6 to 3 million, no more. And I'd look in satellite areas, not where already something has happened, because much of what happens is that people tend to buy places where development has already arrived and the prices for the land in that place are so exorbitant and sometimes exaggerated. So I won't overspend on the portion, so that if I do that, I know I'll be deducting from the house. So what I would actually call is a 50 by 100 plot is all I need, because like I said, if I buy any bigger, it is I'm chopping from what is going to build the house. Step 2, the house that I will choose to build. Something simple, nothing fancy, because people tend to go overboard when they are building. So I wouldn't chase aesthetics. I would be more pragmatic when it comes to be creating the space I need for starters, because building is not something that you do overnight. It's a progress. So I'll pick one of the two options only. I do rather build a 3-bedroom bungalow, or if I want to go to an extent more fancier now, maybe a 4-bedroom mansionette. That will fit that place nicely. A simple shape, straight walls, no fancy knickknacks on that thing, because every design complication just takes away the money from the build, because many people tend to be they want to overspend, not even overspend, even if they don't have money. It is they want to do something fancier. Step 3. This is how I will handle the designs and approvals, because I wouldn't like to overpay on the drawings. I do get architectural drawings, structural drawings, and most importantly, I will seek county government approvals, all done properly and no shortcuts, because that will take it can cost me between 150 to 300,000 bob. And that's cheap compared to mistakes later, because many people tend to just hire the foreman. It's he knows something about architecture. Ati mimi ni fundi, najua vile enda kuchongea hii nyumba boss. And then you end up crying because that is, you have to use money to save more money. Number 4, that is the one that always kills a build, because the foundation is where the house is going settled. That is where you need to put most of your money, because if your foundation is shaky, for real, your house is going to be shaky. Because I've seen some other guys who build on cotton soil. They decided they are going to just do a cheap foundation. I see them even demolish the buildings because every other year there are cracks in the house because cotton soil doesn't settle at once. It just keeps moving, especially when it rains a lot. You find that a house that was level is shifting to one side. I would skimp on the foundation because based on that, I would choose the correct foundation. For example, a strip foundation for a bungalow and a reinforced foundation for a mansionette. That will be like a budget of 1 to 2 million shillings here, and you do not have to complain about that because if the foundation fails, the house is done. Step 5, which people tend to overlook and others desire maybe to like put koroga on it, that is a flat roof slab thing. But structure and roofing is one of the essential components of building a house. This is where I spend also the most, the walls, the columns and everything. Those ones, I won't skimp on that. I do expect in this phase to eat like 35 to 45% of that money of my total budget. Roughly, that would be like 4.5 to 6 million bob. Simple roof design, no fancy things. I've seen roofs that look like Chinese pagodas and I'm like, what? What are you doing with all that? You just need a simple roof. Strong timber, standard mabati or tiles. You see? Strength first, beauty later, because when you have a house that is already standing on your compound and you have all the time to improve on it, but first of all, you need to have like you build something that can stand on its own. Okay, number 6. The finishes, my friend, that is where people they say, I'm moving into the house the way it is because now where the money has reached, man, I don't want to go to Shylocks, I don't want to go to friends, I'll just go into my house the way it is. This is where people destroy their budgets because some people tend to be like, they want to import fancy stuff from outside there, they've seen. Yeah, if you have money, there's no problem with doing that, but now, it is a budget that we are trying to work with realistically. No imported tiles, no luxury fittings, no trend chasing. I do budget around 2.2 million to 4 million shillings on that. That is the flooring, the doors, the kitchen, the wardrobe, the wax, also the ceiling. They have to be like installed properly, mid-range stuff, sinks and everything that looks premium. Now the other thing is how to handle that labor. How are you going to be paying your people? Because sometimes people tend to be over-excited that they are building a house. I have to like put these guys of mine, the fundis, on a monthly salary. Bro, you will cry premium tears, my friend. The first thing you will do is you will have to be present. You don't have to be like put people in your yard and then you leave them to their own devices and then just decide, okay, You guys build me a house, you have to be present. It doesn't matter how you trust people, you trust your foreman, even if he's a relative or whatever, you have to be there. And if you're not there, you have to be like employ or deploy a supervisor who you will be checking up with every day, because if you're in the diaspora, it doesn't mean that you can be able to be present on site. But hire a supervisor and pay fundis per task, because that is what makes sense. Some of them tend to like drag their feet. They want the days to extend so that you can pay them more. That is why you have to supervise, and you have to be there if you're able, because then you are able even to monitor how the material is being utilized. Cement, to be specific, because even the rebars, some people tend to complain a lot that the material they bought that they thought that is going finished, the house is somehow getting depleted because some of the fundis have long arms and they like doing what? Let me shut up. Okay, because unsupervised sites tend to leak money fast. That is what I'm trying to say. And in all of this, you have to know one thing. You have to create a contingency fund, money that you're not going to touch whatever happens, because things tend to crop up when you least expect them. That is one thing that you have to know. 10% or even of that amount you have to lock up somewhere and pretend that it doesn't even exist. You forget kabisa, because that contingency fund might help you in the end, because materials change and mistakes do happen and prices do move. Like for example, right now the fuel prices are high, and if you're buying material at a certain price, like sand, for example, right now it's like 60, those 18 tons. And yeah, so keep that buffer and keep that project alive. That is how I will do it. So what do I end up with? I end up with a real home, my home in my own compound, parking space, room to expand, zero service charge, not a mansion, but a solid, respectable house within my means. That is how you build, and that is how I'm planning to do it. Building with 13 to 15 million shillings is not a dream. It's something that is very possible so long as you have discipline and you have cash flow discipline, that is. But not only discipline, if I have that money, that is exactly how I will do it. No hype, no shortcuts, no regret. And this is Real Estate 101, people. Let me see you on the next one. And thank you.